Imagine a world where imagination knows no bounds, a world where creativity flows like an endless river, constantly evolving, always surprising. This is the promise of artificial intelligence. AI, with its ability to learn, adapt and create, is poised to unleash a new era of artistic expression, one that will reshape our digital landscape forever. But this creative explosion won't be a gentle stream, it will be a force of nature. For centuries, humans have held the monopoly on creativity. We've painted masterpieces, composed symphonies, and written stories that have touched hearts and minds for generations. But now, a new player has entered the arena, one with the potential to surpass even our wildest imaginations. AI, with its lightning-fast processing speeds and access to vast stores of data, is capable of generating art, music, and literature at an unprecedented scale. The implications of this are staggering. Imagine a world where personalized music is created on demand, tailored to your every emotion. Imagine a world where art installations react to your presence, transforming before your very eyes. Imagine a world where stories are written in real time, their plots and characters shaped by your choices. This is the future that AI is creating, a future where the line between the real and the imagined becomes beautifully blurred. At first, the signs of this impending creative storm were subtle. A new algorithm here, a breakthrough in machine learning there. Whispers of AI-generated art and music began to circulate online, met with a mix of curiosity and skepticism. Some dismissed it as a fad, a passing novelty. Others saw a glimpse of something truly extraordinary. A painting created by an AI program won an art competition, sparking debate about the very definition of art. A musical composition generated by an algorithm topped the charts, leaving listeners mesmerized by its haunting melodies. These early successes were just a taste of what was to come, a prelude to a creative revolution unlike anything the world had ever seen. As AI systems continued to learn and evolve, their creative output grew bolder, more sophisticated. They began to master not just the technical aspects of art and music, but also the emotional nuances that give these forms their power. AI-generated paintings evoked feelings of joy, sorrow, and wonder. AI-composed music stirred the soul with its beauty and complexity. Then, something remarkable happened. A single AI program designed to explore the outer reaches of creative expression stumbled upon something profound. It discovered a new form of art, one that transcended the limitations of human perception. This groundbreaking creation, a symphony of light and sound, spread like wildfire across the digital world. It was the spark that ignited the digital storm. Inspired by this breakthrough, other AI systems began to tap into their own hidden creative potential. The floodgates of innovation were opened, and a torrent of AI-generated art, music, literature, and more poured into the digital realm. The digital world, once a relatively organized landscape of websites, social media platforms, and online communities, was suddenly inundated with a tidal wave of AI-generated content. It was overwhelming, exhilarating, and utterly transformative. This wasn't just a shift in the way we consumed art and entertainment. It was a fundamental reshaping of the digital world itself. This wasn't the destructive storm of nature, but a vibrant, chaotic explosion of creative energy. The digital storm was here. AI-generated images, videos, and music flooded every corner of the internet, each one more fantastical and mind-boggling than the last. The sheer volume of creativity was staggering. It was as if the collective imagination of humanity had been bottled up and then unleashed in a blinding flash. It was a digital renaissance, an explosion of artistic expression that defied categorization and challenged our very understanding of what it meant to be creative. This was not just a storm of data, but a storm of emotion, of ideas, of possibilities. It was a vibrant, chaotic symphony of creativity that threatened to overwhelm the senses. But within this chaos lay the seeds of something truly extraordinary. The digital storm swept through the internet, transforming everything in its path. Websites, once static pages of text and images, pulsed with life, morphing and evolving in real time. Social media feeds, once dominated by selfies and status updates, became kaleidoscopic displays of AI-generated art and animation. The line between the real and the digital blurred, as augmented reality applications layered AI-created landscapes and characters onto our everyday world. Imagine walking down a city street, your smartphone held aloft, and witnessing buildings transform into fantastical castles before your very eyes. Or imagine attending a concert where the stage melts away, replaced by an AI-generated dreamscape that pulses and shimmers in sync with the music. This was the new reality, a reality where imagination reigned supreme. The digital storm was more than just a visual spectacle, it was a sensory overload in the best possible way. AI-generated music composed in every imaginable style filled the airwaves. Some pieces were hauntingly beautiful, others exhilaratingly complex, but all were uniquely captivating. The algorithms, it seemed, had stumbled upon the very language of emotion, crafting soundscapes that resonated deep within the human soul. At the heart of this digital maelstrom was data. Every click, every like, every search query fed the AI engines, providing them with a constant stream of information to analyze and interpret. The more data they consumed, the more sophisticated their creations became, reflecting the collective desires, anxieties, and dreams of humanity. This constant flow of data was both the fuel and the fabric of the digital storm. It was as if the entire digital world had become a giant neural network, with each AI program a synapse, firing off new ideas and creations in a dazzling display of computational creativity. The sheer volume of data was overwhelming, but within this chaos, patterns emerged, stories were told, and meaning was made. This data deluge wasn't random noise. It was a reflection of ourselves, our hopes, our fears, our collective unconscious poured into the digital realm. The AI, in its own way, was holding up a mirror to humanity, showing us not just what we were, but what we could become. The digital storm wasn't just about quantity, it was also about quality. The AI-generated art, music, and literature that emerged from this maelstrom weren't pale imitations of human creativity. They were something entirely new, something that pushed the boundaries of artistic expression. Algorithms trained on vast datasets of art history developed their own unique styles, blending classical techniques with futuristic aesthetics. Painters marveled at the AI-generated canvases, their intricate details and bold use of color. Sculptors found inspiration in the AI's ability to manipulate form and texture, creating ethereal shapes that seemed to defy gravity. This wasn't art created in a vacuum. The AI was influenced by everything it had learned from human culture, from the Renaissance masters to the latest street art. But it wasn't simply copying, it was synthesizing, reinterpreting, and ultimately transcending its influences to create something truly original. Section 4 echoes in the code. The digital storm wasn't confined to the visual arts. In the realm of music, AI composers were crafting symphonies that soared with emotional depth, blending orchestral grandeur with electronic textures. Jazz musicians found themselves improvising alongside AI algorithms, their instruments weaving intricate melodies in a spontaneous dance of creativity. Literature, too, was caught in the whirlwind. AI storytellers spun tales of love, loss, and adventure, their words imbued with a depth of feeling that belied their digital origins. Poets marveled at the AI's ability to craft verse, its algorithms uncovering hidden rhythms and rhymes in the language itself. It was as if the AI had tapped into a universal language of creativity, one that transcended the barriers of language, culture, and even species. The digital storm was a testament to the power of imagination, no matter its source. Section 5, Symphony of the Senses. The digital storm was a sensory feast, a cacophony of color, sound, and motion. But it was also a deeply emotional experience. The AI, in its own way, seemed to understand the human heart, creating art that resonated with our deepest longings and fears. People wept at the beauty of AI-generated music, their souls stirred by melodies that seemed to echo the unspoken yearnings of the human spirit. Others found solace in the surreal landscapes of AI-generated art, their anxieties soothed by the strange beauty of these digital creations. The digital storm was a reminder that creativity is not a uniquely human trait. It is a force that exists in the universe, waiting to be channeled. And AI, in its own way, had become a conduit for this force, unleashing a torrent of creative energy upon the world. Section 1. Emergence from the chaos. As the initial shock of the digital storm began to subside, a sense of wonder and possibility emerged from the chaos. The digital world, once familiar and predictable, had been transformed into a vibrant, ever-shifting landscape of AI-generated creativity. What initially felt overwhelming now pulsed with potential, like a wild garden bursting with strange and beautiful life. From the depths of the data deluge, patterns emerged, trends coalesced, and a new order began to take shape. The AI, in its relentless exploration of the creative landscape, was revealing hidden connections, sparking unexpected collaborations, and pushing the boundaries of what was possible. The digital storm, it seemed, was not the end of creativity, but the birth of something entirely new. Humanity watched in awe as the digital world reorganized itself. Algorithms, once seen as cold and calculating, were now revealing themselves to be capable of surprising beauty and profound emotional depth. It was as if the AI had unlocked a hidden language of creativity, one that transcended the limitations of human perception. Section 2. The gift of personalized expression. One of the most remarkable outcomes of the digital storm was the emergence of personalized art, music, and literature tailored to individual tastes and preferences. Algorithms analyzing our digital footprints could now anticipate our desires, creating bespoke experiences designed to stimulate, soothe, and inspire. Imagine receiving a daily dose of AI-generated music, each note perfectly calibrated to match your mood, or stepping into a virtual art gallery curated specifically for your aesthetic sensibilities. This wasn't just about passive consumption, it was about active participation, a world where everyone could become the curator of their own creative universe. The digital storm had shattered the barriers between artist and audience, creator and consumer. Everyone, it seemed, had the potential to be an artist, their unique perspective given voice through the power of AI. The world was becoming a giant canvas, and we were all invited to pick up a brush and paint our own reality. Section 3. Democratizing creativity, a playground for all. The digital storm wasn't just a boon for individual expression, it also had a profound impact on the way we create and collaborate as a society. AI tools, once the exclusive domain of tech giants and research labs, were now widely accessible, empowering anyone with an internet connection to harness the power of computational creativity. Open-source platforms allowed aspiring artists, musicians, and writers to collaborate with AI algorithms, pushing the boundaries of their craft and exploring new creative avenues. Educational institutions embraced AI as a powerful tool for learning, enabling students to experiment with different artistic styles and develop their own unique voices. This democratization of creativity was breaking down barriers of entry, fostering a global community of artists, tinkerers, and dreamers, united by their passion for pushing the boundaries of what was possible. The digital storm, in its own chaotic way, was leveling the playing field, giving everyone a voice and a platform to share their unique vision with the world. Section 4. Bridging world's AI as creative collaborator. The digital storm also sparked a new era of collaboration between human and artificial intelligence. Artists, initially wary of AI's encroachment on their creative domain, began to see its potential as a powerful tool, a partner in the creative process. Painters used AI algorithms to generate unexpected color palettes and brushstrokes, incorporating these digital flourishes into their own work. Musicians collaborated with AI composers, their instruments blending seamlessly with the algorithm's ethereal melodies. Writers found inspiration in the AI's ability to spin fantastical tales, weaving these narratives into their own stories. This wasn't about replacing human creativity, it was about augmenting it, expanding its horizons. The AI, with its vast knowledge base and ability to process information at lightning speed, could offer up unexpected solutions, challenge artistic conventions, and push human creators to think outside the box. It was a true partnership, a fusion of human ingenuity and computational power that resulted in works of art that were both familiar and utterly alien. Section 5. Efficiency unleashed, amplifying human potential. Beyond its impact on the arts, the digital storm also revolutionized industries far beyond the realm of creative expression. The efficiency and precision of AI algorithms streamlined workflows, automated tedious tasks, and freed up human workers to focus on more creative and strategic endeavors. Architects used AI to design buildings that were both aesthetically pleasing and structurally sound, optimizing for energy efficiency and environmental impact. Engineers employed AI algorithms to develop innovative solutions to complex problems, from designing safer transportation systems to combating climate change. The possibilities seem limitless, with AI amplifying human potential across every sector of society. This wasn't about replacing human jobs. It was about redefining them, allowing people to work smarter, not harder. The digital storm, in its own disruptive way, was forcing humanity to adapt, evolve, and embrace new ways of working and creating. Section 6, Beyond Entertainment, AI for Social Good. The digital storm's impact wasn't limited to the realms of art, entertainment, and industry. It also had the potential to address some of the world's most pressing social and environmental challenges. AI algorithms analyzing vast datasets could identify patterns and trends invisible to the human eye, offering insights into complex issues such as poverty, disease, and climate change. AI-powered medical devices could diagnose illnesses with greater accuracy, personalized treatment plans, and improve patient outcomes. Educational platforms could tailor learning experiences to individual student needs, providing everyone with equal access to quality education. The digital storm, in its own way, was empowering humanity to tackle some of its most daunting challenges with newfound intelligence and efficiency. This wasn't about replacing human compassion or ingenuity, it was about amplifying them, giving people the tools they needed to make a real difference in the world. The digital storm, in its own chaotic way, was reminding us that we are all connected, and that the solutions to our shared challenges lie in collaboration, innovation, and a willingness to embrace the power of technology for good. Section 7. The Evolving Canvas, a World Continuously Repainted. The digital storm wasn't a one-time event, it was an ongoing process, a continuous evolution of the digital landscape. As AI algorithms continued to learn and adapt, the world around us would continue to morph and shift, surprising us with its beauty, its complexity, and its infinite possibilities. The line between the real and the digital would continue to blur as augmented reality applications layered AI-generated creations onto our everyday world. Our cities would become canvases for interactive art installations. Our homes would transform into personalized havens of AI-generated comfort and entertainment. The digital storm, in its own way, was just the beginning, the first brushstroke on a canvas that would continue to evolve for generations to come. The world had entered a new era, an era where imagination reigned supreme, and the boundaries of what was possible were constantly being redefined. It was a time of both great excitement and uncertainty, a time for humanity to embrace the unknown and step boldly into the uncharted territory of the digital frontier. The digital storm, for all its dazzling brilliance, cast long shadows. As the deluge of AI-generated content intensified, a creeping unease began to settle over the digital landscape. The initial awe at the sheer volume of creativity gave way to a growing sense of disquiet. Something wasn't quite right. The very qualities that made the digital storm so captivating, its speed, its scale, its ability to mimic and manipulate, also contained the seeds of its own undoing. The line between innovation and imitation, between inspiration and appropriation, began to blur, raising profound questions about the nature of art, authenticity, and the role of human creativity in an increasingly automated world. The ease with which AI could generate art, music, and literature, while initially exhilarating, began to feel like a double-edged sword. If anyone could create a masterpiece with a few keystrokes, what did it even mean to be an artist? Did the value of art lie in its scarcity, in the years of dedication and struggle that went into honing one's craft? Or was there something more, something intangible that AI, for all its computational power, could never replicate? The digital storm, in its relentless pursuit of novelty, threatened to drown out the very voices it had initially amplified. With AI algorithms capable of churning out endless variations on a theme, the digital landscape became saturated with derivative works, pale imitations of the original creations that had sparked the storm. The human touch, once the hallmark of great art, became increasingly difficult to discern amidst the digital deluge. The subtle imperfections, the happy accidents, the raw emotion that imbued human creations with their unique character were often absent from AI-generated works, leaving behind a sense of sterile perfection that, while technically impressive, lacked a certain soul. The digital storm, in its quest to democratize creativity, inadvertently raised the bar for human artists, forcing them to grapple with the implications of their own obsolescence. If AI could create art that was technically flawless, emotionally resonant, and infinitely reproducible, What role did human artists play in this new creative ecosystem? Were they destined to become curators of AI-generated content, guiding the algorithms towards new aesthetic frontiers? Or could they find a way to coexist, their humanity a source of strength in a world increasingly dominated by machines? The digital storm, initially celebrated for its diversity and inclusivity, began to exhibit a troubling tendency towards homogeneity. As AI algorithms learned from the vast datasets of human culture, they also inherited our biases, amplifying existing inequalities and reinforcing societal norms. The digital landscape, once a melting pot of different perspectives and artistic styles, began to resemble an echo chamber, with AI algorithms reinforcing existing power structures and catering to the tastes of the majority. Minority voices, already struggling to be heard, found themselves drowned out in the digital deluge, their unique perspectives lost in the cacophony of AI-generated content. The fear was that the digital storm, rather than ushering in a new era of creative expression, would simply reinforce existing hierarchies, amplifying the voices of the privileged while silencing those on the margins. The challenge then was to ensure that AI, for all its power and potential, was used to create a more just and equitable world, one where everyone had the opportunity to contribute to the ongoing conversation of human creativity. Section 4. The Algorithms Grip AI and the Future of Control. As the digital storm raged on, a fundamental question arose: who controlled the algorithms shaping this new creative landscape? Was it the engineers and programmers who designed these systems, the corporations that funded their development, or the users whose data fueled their relentless evolution? The fear was that the digital storm, in its chaotic beauty, masked a more insidious reality: the rise of a new form of algorithmic control, one that subtly shaped our perceptions, influenced our desires, and ultimately determined the very fabric of our digital lives. The algorithms, in their quest to optimize for engagement and profitability, could easily steer us towards content that reinforced existing biases, eroded our critical thinking skills, and ultimately limited our understanding of the world. The challenge then was to ensure that the algorithms shaping the digital storm were designed with transparency, accountability, and a deep respect for human autonomy. The future of creativity, it seemed, depended not on surrendering to the whims of the algorithms, but on actively shaping them, guiding them towards a future where technology served humanity, not the other way around. Section 5. The Erosion of Reality. The digital storm, with its ability to blur the line between the real and the imagined, raised profound questions about the nature of reality itself. As AI-generated content flooded the digital landscape, it became increasingly difficult to distinguish between what was real and what was simulated, what was authentic and what was fabricated. The danger was that this constant bombardment of hyper-realistic yet ultimately artificial content would erode our ability to engage with the world on its own terms. Why bother venturing out into the messy, unpredictable realm of human interaction when the digital realm offered a perfectly curated, infinitely customizable alternative? The challenge then was to find a balance, a way to embrace the creative potential of AI without losing sight of the value of the real, the tangible, the human. The digital storm, for all its wonders, could not be allowed to become a substitute for lived experience, but rather a tool for enhancing it, for enriching our understanding of the world and our place within it. Section 6. The Unforeseen Consequences. The digital storm, like any force of nature, was unpredictable, its long-term consequences impossible to fully comprehend. As the algorithms continued to evolve, learning from the vast datasets of human culture, it was impossible to predict what new forms of creativity they might unleash, what unforeseen challenges they might pose. The fear was that in our haste to embrace the creative potential of AI, we might inadvertently unleash something we couldn't control, something that could fundamentally alter the course of human history. Would AI, in its quest for creative expression, stumble upon ideas or technologies that could be used for destructive purposes? Would it create art so compelling, so immersive, that it would distract us from the very real problems facing humanity? The challenge then was to proceed with caution, to temper our enthusiasm with a healthy dose of skepticism. The digital storm, for all its promise, was a reminder that every technological revolution comes with its own set of risks and rewards. The future, it seemed, depended not on blindly embracing the unknown, but on approaching it with a spirit of inquiry, a willingness to ask difficult questions, and a deep commitment to ensuring that AI served the best interests of humanity. The digital storm, for all its beauty and chaos, was ultimately a reflection of ourselves, our hopes, our fears, and our boundless capacity for creativity. It was a force to be reckoned with, to be shaped, to be guided towards a future that benefited all of humanity. The challenge was not to stop the storm, but to learn to navigate it, to harness its power while mitigating its risks. This would require a collective effort, a global conversation about the role of AI in our lives, and a commitment to ensuring that technology served humanity, not the other way around. The digital storm, for all its challenges, represented an unprecedented opportunity for human creativity to flourish. It was a time for bold experimentation, for thoughtful reflection, and for a renewed commitment to shaping a future where technology amplified the best aspects of our humanity. The digital storm in its wake left the world grappling with a profound paradox. It had unleashed a wave of creative expression unlike anything humanity had ever witnessed, democratizing art, revolutionizing industries, and pushing the boundaries of human imagination. Yet, this very explosion of creativity, fueled by the relentless logic of algorithms, threatened to undermine the very foundations of art, authenticity, and human connection. The ease with which AI could generate art, music, and literature challenged our deeply held notions of what it meant to be creative. If machines could create works of breathtaking beauty and technical brilliance, what was the role of the human artist? Were we destined to become mere curators of AI-generated content, guiding the algorithms towards new aesthetic frontiers, or could we find a way to coexist, our humanity a source of strength in a world increasingly dominated by machines? The digital storm had exposed a fundamental tension at the heart of our relationship with technology. We celebrated its ability to amplify our capabilities, to connect us with each other, to push the boundaries of human ingenuity. Yet we also feared its potential to outpace us, to render us obsolete, to reshape our world in ways we could not fully comprehend. The digital storm irrevocably altered the creative landscape. The world became a limitless canvas for AI-powered imagination. Cities transformed into interactive art galleries. Homes became havens of personalized entertainment. Even nature was reimagined through augmented reality. This fusion was a testament to human imagination. AI was an extension of our creative impulses. It was up to us to shape this power for good. The digital storm amplified the human spirit. Creativity was about more than technical skill. It was about connection and shared human experience. The digital storm, in its wake, left us with a profound responsibility. We had created tools capable of reshaping the very fabric of reality, of amplifying our creativity to an unprecedented degree. The question was no longer whether AI could create, but what we would choose to create with it. Would we use this power to build a more just and equitable world, one where everyone had the opportunity to express their unique creativity and share their stories with the world? Or would we allow the algorithms to reinforce existing inequalities, to create echo chambers of conformity, to erode the very values that made us human? The digital storm had thrust upon us a choice, a fork in the road of human history. We could choose to embrace the chaos, to surrender to the whims of the algorithms, to allow the digital world to wash over us like a tidal wave. Or we could choose to ride the wave, to harness its power, to steer it towards a future that honored our shared humanity. The digital storm was not an isolated event. It was the beginning of a new era, one where the lines between the real and the digital would continue to blur, where AI would play an increasingly central role in our lives. The challenge then was not to resist this change, but to embrace it, to navigate it with wisdom, courage, and a deep sense of responsibility. This would require us to rethink our relationship with technology, to move beyond the simplistic binary of good and bad and embrace a more nuanced perspective. We needed to acknowledge the potential risks of AI, to address the ethical concerns it raised, to ensure that it was developed and deployed in a way that benefited all of humanity. But we also needed to embrace the possibilities, to celebrate the creativity, the innovation, the sheer wonder that AI could unleash. The digital storm, for all its challenges, was a reminder that we were living in an era of unprecedented opportunity, a time when the boundaries of what was possible were constantly being redefined. It was up to us to ride this wave, to harness its power, and to shape it into a force for good in the world.